We're here in our home state of Tennessee.
We're just a short 2.5 hours away from Nashville in beautiful Chattanooga, and we haven't been here in 10 years, so a lot has changed.
Now we've got 48 hours, so let's see how much we can get done. I'm Rico.
And I'm Alex, and we have a lot on our list for Chattanooga.
Yeah, we've got the aquarium, we've got Rock City.
We've got a couple parks. We might try to hit up Ruby Falls if we have time. And then there's also a lot of restaurants here. Like, it seems like a big foodie city.
And some iconic places like the bridge.
And the Chattanooga Choo Choo.
Whatever
that is.
We're here to find out.
Yeah, so let's see how much we can get done. I'm not sure if we can get it all done this trip. We might have to come back with our friends, but let's see.
Let's see. We have not been to Chattanooga in 10 years.
And honestly, we didn't know what to expect because we just really hadn't been hearing a lot about Chattanooga, but I would say it definitely surprised us.
Yeah. There was a lot of food, a lot of activities.
And it's beautifully nestled in the mountains, so there's lots of like really great parks and scenery. And honestly, I fell in love a little bit with Chattanooga.
Yeah, we know we're definitely going to go back to Chattanooga, so we have put together this video of our brief 48 hours that we spent in Chattanooga, and we're going to walk you through everything that we were able to get done. And who knows, maybe you'll get inspired for your next vacation in Chattanooga and see if there are a couple of these things on our list that we got to do that you might want to do as well.
Definitely.
So stick around, but first hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more Tennessee, Chattanooga, Nashville, and other travel adventure content.
Again, we only had 48 short hours for this trip, so we hopped in our car and we took the short 2.5 hour drive to Chattanooga. And on our first night, well, the first thing we did was check into our Airbnb.
Yeah, it was a quick 5-minute drive from the Airbnb to the central downtown area of Chattanooga. As you can see, it was very spacious. We had a pretty big living space. It came with a full kitchen and laundry, utilities like that.
Yeah, and it had a fenced-in backyard and a hot tub.
Yeah, the hot tub was a highlight for sure.
Yeah, and it was on a pretty quiet street, I would say.
Yeah, it was quiet. It was pretty relaxed. And when we were researching where to stay in Chattanooga, there did seem to be a pretty good number of decent hotel options. So keep that in mind when you're doing your research. We just chose an Airbnb because we wanted something a little bit more quiet, that was a little bit more relaxed for our weekend getaway.
Yeah, and we were originally planning to bring our dogs, but unfortunately we changed plans and they couldn't make it this time. But next time, we're definitely going to bring them along. After checking in, we went to dinner at Little Coyote.
Yeah, so Little Coyote just opened in 2023, and it combines smoked barbecue with tortillas. So this is, as they say, Texas barbecue meets Cuban, Caribbean, and Southwestern cuisine, and it's located in the St. Elmo neighborhood of Chattanooga. And the reason why we went was because we saw that everything was 100% gluten-free.
Yeah, the entire restaurant was gluten-free. If you have celiac disease, if you have gluten sensitivities, it's a great place to go to. The entire kitchen, they let us know, is fully gluten-free.
So be aware, if you're looking for flour tortillas, you're probably not going to find them here.
Yeah, but did you miss the flour tortillas?
No, I was going to say, like, great option if you are gluten-free, but also a 10 out of 10 option. I would go there again, and I don't have any dietary restrictions.
Yeah, it was really, really cool vibes. The lighting was like really low, and the decor was very trendy. The music was great. The bar was really pretty. Everything was pretty. And then they also had a patio that had a ton of seating and heaters. So you can really go there any time of the year. Quick PSA about the food recommendations mentioned in this video. We talk a lot about Chattanooga's food scene and mention how allergen friendly it was. Alex specifically avoids gluten and dairy when she can and tries to prioritize this when traveling as well. This is a lifestyle she follows in conjunction with her doctor, and this video is in no way offering medical advice. We know that there are so many out there who may personally need to avoid certain allergens, or who may travel with groups where someone may need to avoid certain allergens. And we hope that this can be a guide for you. Also, please note that the restaurants that we are sharing are, yes, good for those who have allergens, but are also great options for anyone without any restrictions because they have dishes that cater to everyone. Please don't fall into the trap that anything gluten-free or dairy-free is going to taste bad. You can rest assured that Rico and I will never recommend a restaurant with an allergen-friendly option that tastes bad, the texture is bad, anything like that. This is not worth it. This is gonna be
we will always make recommendations about things that we would full-heartedly recommend to our friends and family. All right, now that I've said my piece, we can get back to the video.
After dinner, we headed downtown to the Soldiers and Sailors Auditorium.
Yeah, so this was basically the reason why we went to Chattanooga, and
well, one of the reasons.
One of the reasons,
yeah.
Is because we had tickets to go see Steve Martin and Martin Short on their
comedy tour.
Their comedy tour.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was such a fun show. We weren't allowed to record any video or photos during the show, but it was great. I highly recommend going if they're coming to your town or coming somewhere close by. It was just super fun. I mean, we grew up with those guys. So.
And we grew up with them. Of course, Only Murders in the Building is a show that we really enjoyed watching. And no, they did not disappoint. It was joke after joke. And
it was
we
like
were laughing.
A full, I think, 2-hour show. They were going the whole time. There was music, there were jokes, there was physical comedy, like everything.
Yeah. They might be quite a bit older, but they were like nonstop.
Yeah. I would say too, it's maybe not super kid friendly. I mean, it's not the raunchiest show you're gonna go to with your kids. Well, okay, wait. No. It's not the raunchiest show you could go to, but it's still not a comedy show for kids. It's not a family comedy show.
However, the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Auditorium, they have several different kinds of events, including events for kids. So just a little bit about the auditorium. It was built in the 1920s to honor veterans of World War I and provide seating for more than 3,800 people. So yeah, it was definitely a huge venue. So you have musical artists, you have comedians, you have plays.
It was built in the 1920s, but it was like a mix of old style and new style. Like some parts had been redone, some parts had been refurbished, and then other parts had like the charm of the 1920s, I thought.
Yeah.
It was a really cool theater.
It was really cool. My only critique would be that the process to get into the auditorium was not the most organized.
Yeah, the logistics of getting in and out, there's only, doors at the front, and the security lines were kind of long for some reason. But we did end up finding free parking close by, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, what? Free parking is like not in my vocabulary in Nashville.
We're not used to that in Nashville.
Yeah, it was for a show downtown, so that was like the cherry on top of the night. After the show, it was getting a little bit late, but we still wanted a little sweet treat, so we stopped at Insomnia Cookies on our way back to the Airbnb. If you watched our Greenville video, you know that we are Insomnia Cookies fans. One, because they have gluten-free and vegan cookie options, and two, because they're open late. So you can pick them up basically on your way home from anything and enjoy a little treat. So we wanted to take them to go and enjoy them
at the hot tub.
At the hot tub, yeah.
I would say they're not my favorite cookies, but they're good.
Again, if you're interested in what our favorite cookies are or cookie rankings or anything like that, check out our Greenville video where we talk about maybe our cookie expertise.
We'll come out with another video on our cookie rankings.
Yes, keep an eye. Keep an eye on the channel for our cookie rankings or cookie taste test. Let us know if you want us to live rank cookies.
Yeah. Anything from a Subway cookie to Gideon's.
Chick-fil-A. Send in your favorite cookies. We will eat and rank them for you. Friday morning we woke up and we headed to Niedlov's, which is a local bakery.
Very popular spot for both tourists and locals. We got there and there were several people like studying and doing work.
Make sure you go before you're starving because there's typically going to be a line and there's typically not going to be a ton of seating, so you may have to wait around for the right spot. Yeah. But it is 100,000% worth the wait. Yeah. If you are going to Chattanooga, if you're passing Chattanooga, if you're anywhere near the vicinity, please go to this place because it is so good.
Yeah, it was so good. And I mean, there was a wait, but it wasn't crazy. It wasn't ridiculous.
We went at the right time. We went like a little bit between breakfast and lunch, and we kind of snuck in.
It's not like it's a tiny space either. They do have some outdoor seating. It's just that people do like to settle down there and work and study.
Yeah, and I get why. I mean, they have all sorts of breakfast options, lunch options, coffee, baked goods. Well, do you remember what you got?
I got a miso kale and shiitake skillet. It was actually not something I would usually order, but I felt like being a little adventurous that morning, and it was so good. I would definitely get it again.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit rich, because it had some cheese and some cream and mushrooms, but it was like really
Yeah,
delicious.
I'm okay with a little bit of rich.
Yeah, but I just want people to know it's a little bit rich. So if you're thinking like, oh, maybe we should get 2 of these, maybe get 1 and then get another
But you
option
get it
to
in a
share.
skillet too. How fun is that?
Yeah, it was fun to get it in a skillet. I got a breakfast sandwich called the Fancy, and it had egg, avocado, bacon. I think, arugula, aioli, and the bread I think is really the star. So they had sourdough that they make in-house. Actually, they make every bread in-house, right?
Yeah, so they're not gluten-free, but the special thing about Niedlov's is that they talk about it on their website. All their bread goes through a very meticulous process, and that they do make in-house. They use organic materials, organic ingredients, and I think that also just helps when if you're not necessarily celiac, but you are maybe sensitive to gluten.
Traveling especially can make your system a little bit sensitive, but I felt like Niedlov was the perfect option. I mean, I ate sourdough and I felt amazing the whole day. I did not get sick. I didn't feel sluggish or anything. So I would highly recommend.
And then another cool thing about Niedlov's is that as we were walking around Chattanooga to different stores and groceries, you could see that some of them did have Niedlov's bakery bread available.
Yeah.
So if you don't have time to check out the restaurant, but you do still want to try their loaves, you can pick some up at one of the nearby groceries and bring it back to your hotel or Airbnb.
And this is not sponsored. This is 100% not sponsored. Organic thoughts from us. I just am a Niedlov stan now since we've been there.
Yeah.
So
recommended by Mario and Emma, so shout out to our buddies there.
yeah. Am I considering a tattoo? Maybe. Niedlov tattoo right here on my wrist. Maybe.
Wow. So after we powered up with a really good breakfast at Niedlov's, we went over to the Bluff View Art District. So they had a sculpture garden there that we walked by.
The weekend we went was a little bit chilly. That could be a factor in how much you enjoy the sculpture garden.
And it's a quick 20 minute
free.
stop. Yeah.
It's free.
It's located next to, there's like a coffee shop right there. I think you were thinking about getting some coffee there, but I don't know that you did.
No, there was a lot of coffee consumed on this trip, but I did not get coffee near the art district.
And it's a walkable area where there's other art galleries and there's an art museum over there. So we did pop into a couple of art galleries.
Yeah, I really like art and art galleries. We don't have an art collection or anything, but it's cool to look around. And it was nice that a lot of the art galleries and the museums were close together, so you can kind of hop around to all of them at the same time.
Then you also had the Hunter Museum of American Art. And that's a much larger museum of art.
Yeah.
We didn't go inside, but we still walked around the grounds, which was still, they had some sculptures out there, and it was still a nice area to hang out at.
Yeah, I think I'll put it on our list for our next trip.
And then right next to that art district, you have the Walnut Street Bridge. This bridge crosses the Tennessee River, and it's very iconic in Chattanooga. You might have seen pictures of it or seen it in other videos here on YouTube. So we were there, we checked that out. We didn't walk across it though, because as Alex said, it was a pretty cold day. So, but you can walk across it over to Coolidge Park.
We did not walk across the bridge to Coolidge Park, but we did hop in our car and drive to Coolidge Park. And our first stop was coffee.
Stone Mug, I think it was called.
Yeah, Stone Mug Cafe. And
Did you like your coffee there?
yeah, it was great.
Tell us about your coffee.
My coffee's really good. It's a coconut mocha. Almond milk.
This is your coffee number 2 for today.
Coffee number 2 for today. From Stone Cup Coffee. And at first, they gave me a coffee with a regular milk, and it was so good, but I had to go back because I asked her for almond milk.
And we needed it because it's a little bit of a chilly day. Right?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna make it without a second coffee.
It was something that I had tried 10 years ago, and it was kind of nice that it was still there. It was a little bit nostalgic.
So we got your coffee, and then we went over to the park, and it was really nice.
The park's great. It's like a sprawling area with lots of different pathways and trees and flowers, and it's right, there's lots of spots along the river you can sit and enjoy and watch the water.
It's very peaceful over there.
And it's paved, so we saw a lot of people walking or jogging or walking their dogs. There is also a carousel right in the middle of the park, an indoor carousel.
Yeah, and that you can use.
Yeah, you can go in the rain because it's inside.
And this is a Denso carousel from, I think it was 1894. There's like a limited number remaining. So if you're
I didn't know that. What?
If you're into carousels, you got to check this carousel out. Apparently, but it was cool. No, we liked it. I think it was supposed to be $1 to go on a ride.
It was really charming. I mean, it's a nice, like, pop in, do the carousel a couple times, pop out.
Yeah, actually, I think we can go back to Rico and Alex right after the carousel ride to tell you what it was like.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just rode the carousel.
The carousel at Coolidge Park.
Carousel, Coolidge Park, what'd you think?
It was good. It was fun. Definitely the best carousel that I've ever ridden.
We've actually been to quite a few we've been to 2 carousels in the middle of cities. One in Mansfield, Ohio, and one here. And the one in Mansfield definitely was not as fast. This one was very thrilling.
That's right.
But some of the animals were broken here, so.
We will have to compare it to the Prince Charming carousel, too, at Disney.
Yeah, let us know your favorite carousel in the comments. We might have to make a trip.
Right near the park, there's a row of shops along the street, and one of those shops is Clumpies, which is an ice cream, a local ice cream favorite.
It's a Chattanooga staple.
Yeah.
And I remember, this is another place we went to 10 years ago, and I think back then there was only one.
Yeah, now there's quite
there's
a few.
couple around town. But this was the same one that we went to, so it was cool to go back, and I just had to get some ice cream.
You walk in and it smells amazing because they make all their own waffle cones and stuff.
And for those keeping track, they do also have dairy-free options there as well. I think it's just sorbet, but just so you know.
I'm actually a sorbet hater, so when people only have sorbet as their dairy-free option, I won't be purchasing unless it's coconut, which it never is. So they do have dairy-free options, but I did not partake in
Be warned, it's only sorbet.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe in the summer they have more options. I
Yeah.
mean, we were there and it was a little chilly. So
That's true.
Maybe they weren't offering their full selection, perhaps. I don't know. While Rico was enjoying his ice cream, I looked around and there was some more art galleries, and I hadn't had enough art today. So we went next door to, I can't remember the name, but we will put the name here.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
It was really just awesome to check out all the different local artists that were featured in these galleries. I mean, they had everything from things you could hang on your wall to things you could wear. So I did find some really beautiful earrings that I purchased for myself and for my mom. All the shops over there are really fun to check out. I would definitely hang out there.
Yeah, and then the last thing you'll see in this area that's, we recommend you passing by is the Chalk Alley,
Yeah.
which is an alleyway where people have decorated it with their drawings. There's a little station with a bunch of different colored chalk that you can use.
Yeah, so if you go to Chattanooga and you check out the Chalk Alley, leave a picture in the comments so we can see your beautiful masterpiece and we can give you kudos.
Yeah.
Next, we went to the Tennessee Aquarium.
This is one of the world's largest freshwater aquariums, and it's actually split between 2 buildings, the River Journey and the Ocean Journey. So yeah, we saw everything from otters to sharks to, there was a butterfly garden, and there's an IMAX theater there as well.
We saw like the biggest fish I've ever seen. Not like the biggest, we saw the biggest fish I've ever seen.
Yeah.
There were some crazy creatures here.
Yeah, some like prehistoric type of fish.
It blew my mind that this could be swimming near where I'm swimming. Like, that's how big it was.
In the river.
In the river. All of the interpreters there were really knowledgeable, and there was lots of interactive opportunities. You could pet
stingrays, and then that one fish with the really hard shell, they get caviar that's hunted for its caviar.
Yes. The otter exhibit on its own, I mean, okay, I guess I'm like an really big otter fan. So I don't know if this was as impressive to you if you aren't an otter fan, but I could have stayed there all day and watched those little guys swim around.
Yeah, they were moving.
They're always moving. They're busy. They have stuff to do. Otters have stuff to do. So it was really cool to see otters and their habitat. The butterfly garden was also great. I was not expecting a butterfly garden at the aquarium.
Yeah, the butterfly garden was nice.
Cool.
One of my favorites was a sea turtle. We got to spot like this really massive sea turtle.
Yeah.
So that was cool too.
Penguins.
Yeah, it was great. It was good. When you're doing your research for Chattanooga, like we did, the aquarium was surprisingly number 1 on everyone's list. And we had a minute before, so I was like, can it really be that good?
Yeah.
But it definitely is a must-do if you're heading over to Chattanooga. We had a good time. We spent about 2 hours there. You could definitely spend way more than that if you're really into the details of learning everything about every single animal.
Yeah, and it had great views of the rest of the city. because there's lots of windows, so you can get up to different levels and see out. Especially the butterfly garden had really great views of the rest of the city.
Yeah.
And if you go there during warm weather, specifically during the summer, there's an outdoor water, I don't want to call it a playground,
It's like
but
a feature, like
a water feature that your kids can play in. So, or, I mean, you can play in if you're an adult, but so if you go there during the summer, you definitely get another opportunity to explore out there too. At the time of filming, the Animal Crossing traveling exhibit was there. So that was a bonus that we got to check out.
Yeah, so they had like different Animal Crossing's characters around the displays. They had blathers giving you fun facts throughout the aquariums. And there was supposedly a character meet and greet too.
Yeah,
but
we missed it.
We were a little bit late for that part.
And they also had great like Animal Crossing merch. So if you know any Animal Crossing fans, it was a great place to get gifts for them.
Yeah. Next, it was time for dinner. So we went over to Community Pie in the heart of downtown Chattanooga. Everything we've done has been pretty close to the center of Chattanooga so far.
Yeah.
But Community Pie, we saw it on several lists. We wanted to check it out. We saw that it was a gluten-free and vegan-friendly option. So that's why we went. And what do you think?
Okay, I really liked it. The dough was more like a focaccia, I would say, like texture-wise. Yeah. It was kind of like you push your finger in and it pops back up. So I wouldn't say it's like Detroit style pizza or anything, but it was kind of reminiscent of that if you get the gluten-free. But it was definitely like one of the best gluten-free pizzas I've had. A lot of times when you get gluten-free pizza, it's like a little thin cracker. This was not. This was like, oh, I'm eating dough. I mean, like couldn't finish all of our pizza because it was like, it was filling. And we also tried the dairy-free cheese, which is not usually something I recommend, but I would recommend it at Community Pie. Whatever they use was great.
Yeah, we got the Melrose on a gluten-free crust and the spicy Bianca with gluten-free crust and vegan cheese on that one. And we also split a Greek salad with chicken, if you remember that.
Yeah, so, we did a lot. We were hungry. We were hungry. And again, we ordered too much food. We didn't know. We didn't know that this would all fill us up. It's
always good to have pizza left over the next day, too.
Sure. But PSA, the spicy Bianca is very, very spicy. Very spicy.
Yeah.
And I like spicy food. But this one was like, it's hot.
Yeah. And for the one that we got the vegan cheese on, I know you were very skeptical about getting that at all. But what did you think about that? The
vegan cheese was great. Definitely the best vegan cheese I've tried on a pizza anywhere.
I will say, I've tried a lot of gluten-free, dairy-free pizzas since Alex has been on this kind of gluten-free journey. And this is easily, for me, the best gluten-free pizza and vegan pizza that I've had. And it was actually so good that I would go back and get that, whether or not I, was trying to be gluten-free. Yeah,
but it is important to know if you're I know some people who are gluten-free all the time, they're expecting that little thin crust pizza. This is not that. This is for sure a squishy little pizza.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know
which I like. I like that. Who doesn't?
Yeah, hopefully not. People might be sick of us talking about gluten-free options now.
Sorry.
But they do. Of course, they have just regular pizzas that are not gluten-free for anyone to try. We did not try those. We had friends that did when they went later in the year. Mm-hmm. They didn't love that one as much, and they actually recommend Pizza Bros. Right. So that's another option. I know they also have gluten-free, dairy-free options to check out. Mm-hmm. But we'll have to go back and just do a little taste comparison because I don't know. I really liked
Pizza Tour.
Community Pie.
Yeah. I think we would have to compare side by side to really know. But if you have a recommendation too, we want to hear your pizza recs for us. They also had a large beer selection at Community Pie. It was definitely like I wouldn't say it's a brewery, but it's like brewery vibes, like the decor.
A lot of those local beers.
On our last morning, we woke up and we were headed out to do some activities, but before we did, we stopped at Goodman Coffee Roasters in St. Elmo, so it was right across from where Little Coyote was from the first night. But yeah, it was great coffee. Highly recommend. There's so much coffee in Chattanooga. It was hard to pick just a couple places, but there's also so much coffee you can drink in a day,
I mean, I don't know because I don't drink coffee.
But yeah, so we got a coffee. I got a coffee there, and we continued driving over to Rock City.
Yeah, this was our big event. Our days winding down, our 48 hours are winding down, but we had to check out Rock City while we were there.
Supposedly. That's what all the lists said. You got to check out Rock City. and I drug my feet the whole way there.
Yeah, me too, because I've lived in the Nashville area since 2002, so I've heard of Rock City. I've had family and friends go to Rock City, and I remember when I was a kid, I would make fun of them and say, wow, you're just gonna go check out some rocks? I bet that's a lot of fun.
Guess what? It was so much fun. It was awesome.
It was a lot of
Rock
fun.
City was awesome. While we were there, was like, should we buy a season pass? And Rico said no, because we don't live here. And I'm still sad.
We can think about it.
It was awesome. Rock City was so cool. It was so different than whatever I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So a little bit about Rock City before we get into it is that it's in Lookout Mountain, Georgia. So that's about 15 to 20 minutes from downtown Chattanooga. I know you hear Georgia, that must be far away, but Chattanooga's like right on the border of Tennessee and Georgia.
Yeah, and you go up and up and up and up the mountain because it's real up high.
Yes, and it's known for its large ancient rock formations and panoramic views. It's got paved walking trails, which we really enjoyed.
Yep. Yeah, it was very accessible, so it's not a challenging hike or anything like that. All the trails are paved. There are some places where you get to squeeze in between some rocks, but it was all in all like very well planned, very well thought out, very well communicated what types of trails you'd be going on. It would be a great option for anyone who has children, who are learning how to walk, has a stroller probably. Most trails.
Yeah, I think there's one trail that's specifically good for like if you're in a wheelchair or if you have a stroller. So that'll be good for you. You might not go across the swing along bridge or through some of the fat man squeeze, some of the places where you really have to squeeze through. But there is that option as well. So while we were there, I think we went through all the trails that they had, making our way up to the very top of Lookout Mountain, where there's that point where you could see 7 states from
that was
area.
Really cool. I mean, you get up to the top and you can see that they have a map where you can see all the different state lines. You can see 7 different states from up there. There's also lots of rocking chairs. There's a little cafe at the top. There's just like lots of places to sit and relax at the top of the mountain.
We learned about Lover's Leap. Why, you don't like that story?
I mean, no.
Okay.
I don't.
Then cut that.
Lover's Leap, we did learn about it. It's tough. It's a tough history. It's a tough, sad story. That's all. If you're interested,
you'll learn about that when you go.
If you're interested, go look it up. But it's also dog friendly.
Yeah, so that's why we said we might take our dogs next time we go to Chattanooga.
We will be going back, and we will be taking the dogs. In addition to the paved walking paths, they also had some tranquil music playing while you walked through.
Yeah, of course. They had some birdhouses around too.
They had birdhouses. They also had lots of art included, like
what's that called? Like that glass?
Yeah, blown glass along the pathways. Very like fairy tale-esque. So if you're into fairies or anything like that, you're gonna like it.
So at the very end, the trails end with the fairy tale caverns.
Yeah, Fairy Tale Caverns is it's a section where you go underground, and there are lots of scenes with blacklight that are from different fairy tales.
Yeah, like Mother Goose, Jack and the Beanstalk, the 3 little bears, 3 little pigs. I
think there's a bear story too.
Yeah, it's a Goldilocks is what I was thinking of.
Yeah. So there are those scenes. They are a little bit spooky at some points.
I mean, just like a little creepy looking. They're old, but it's still fun to walk around, and especially if you have kids.
Kids who've like heard those stories, you know. So yeah, that's where you end, or I guess where you begin if you're doing it backwards. I feel like Rock City had something for everybody.
Yeah.
So I would recommend putting it on your list if you're going to be passing Chattanooga or in Chattanooga for a couple days. Definitely. We'll be back, Rock City.
So after we were done with Rock City, we were going to be making our way back to the center of Chattanooga before coming over to Nashville. So we stopped at Point Park This was a recommendation from one of the locals that we met at Niedlov's. And this is a park that overlooks Lookout Mountain Battlefield and the city of Chattanooga. So you can see like the river going across the city. It was very scenic up there. Of course, it's hard to follow Rock City because we had a lot of fun at Rock City, but it was still cool to check it out.
Yeah, and this is a national park, so there is a $10 admission because you're paying to keep this going. So there's a small museum too that had a couple like artifacts from different battles. So if you're like a history buff, you'd probably love this park, I think. We're just kind of mid about history, so. But it was a cool park, and...
I think a lot of people get engaged there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I've seen something like that.
Pro tip? If you want to get engaged, check out Point Park. It was definitely more up and down than the other parks we've been to. A lot of the other parks were more flat. This one had quite a few stairs and things like that because you're getting up to different viewpoints to see out over the city.
Yeah. So then once we were done there, we made our way through Chattanooga one more time for our last stop at the Chattanooga Choo Choo. We could not leave Chattanooga without checking out the Chattanooga Choo Choo. Everyone's heard of it, whether you know what it is or not. I'm sure you've heard of it because it's a popular song from the 1940s. And there's also a movie from the 80s that are based out of the Chattanooga Choo Choo.
Wow, I didn't know about the movie.
Yeah, actually I didn't either, but I knew about the song. What it is that it was a railroad station dating back to 1909. And since 1909, it was a railroad station for a very long time. And it was very popular, hence the song, the movie. But later, I think around the 70s, it became a hotel and entertainment complex. So that's what it is now. It's a hotel where you could stay at some of the train carts if you like. I think that would be a pretty cool, pretty unique experience. And there's several restaurants, there's several shopping little stores that you can shop at. And
a nice outdoor grassy area near the old choo-choo train. So you could go in, there's a bar inside the choo-choo now. And there's also this grassy area that in the summer, the warm weather, they have concerts and I'm sure they have festivals out there.
We saw people just hanging out, like throwing a ball around, volleyball.
It was a really nice area, very close to the center of everything else too. Walkable. It's amazing what all you can get done in 48 hours in Chattanooga, but there was still a lot of things we couldn't get to.
Yeah, I know we're not going to wait another 10 years to go back, but next time we do, there are some things that we missed that we do want to make sure are on our list, and that includes Ruby Falls and the Incline Railway. Unfortunately, the Incline Railway was closed for refurbishment this time around. Hopefully it's open by the time you're watching this video, and that does seem really fun. We were going to do it this time around. But it's also part of that Lookout Mountain area where you can kind of do the Incline Railway, Ruby Falls, and Rock City all in one trip if you really dedicate a day or a half a day to that.
Chattanooga was great. I would definitely go back. I can't wait to go back. And I would recommend it for anybody, but for families, for couples, for groups of friends. If there's tons of Airbnb options in Chattanooga or right nearby Rock City and all that in Georgia that would allow you access to all of the Chattanooga activities. And there's also hotels that have great options too.
And we can't complain. Free parking. Everything was pretty close by in Chattanooga. Good food. We like that they had gluten-free and vegan-friendly options in several of the places that we went. We didn't have to look hard to find them.
Yeah, that's something that's kind of special, I think, about Chattanooga from other cities we visited is some people, they have some options or they have gluten-free options but not dairy-free options. Chattanooga had both, and they were also very friendly anytime I did need to make a change.
And they actually tasted good.
Yeah, and they tasted really good. Of course, this video is not all about food.
Right.
But it does make a difference if you're having great food throughout the trip.
It just really speaks to how much it stood out on this trip, which we just didn't expect.
I definitely didn't expect it since Chattanooga is a smaller city. So it was definitely a big surprise and a charming visit that I have not stopped telling people about. So now I'm telling you guys, go to Chattanooga. If you have been to Chattanooga or you're going, let us know in the comments because we want to hear from you. We want to hear if you liked it as much as I did. If you're planning to move, just kidding. I'm not planning to move there, but I would live there if I ever moved away.
we think about it, I suppose. That's it. So make sure you subscribe to our channel for more content about Tennessee, where we're from. We will also have content on our travels. I think we do have a trip planned for later this year in Europe.
Yep.
So subscribe to keep up with what we're up to and maybe get some inspiration for your next trip.
Yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.